Hi, I'm here to do a video on the new Affinity, what they call is version 3. This is for Windows PC on the F570, the Epson F570 sublimation printer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our setup. So we're going to go to File. Actually, we're going to go to Edit and go to Settings. And we're going to start with General. And you can change these if you wish. It doesn't have to be what I have. For the under Document, I have that I do not want to reopen document on startup. You could change it to on. Switch studio based on file type, I have on. Limit initial zoom to a maximum 100%, I have off. Documents open in a floating window, I have off. Documents open in the current active group, I have yes, on. Automatically update linked resources when modified externally, I have off. Save thumbnails with documents, I have on. And enable save over imported PSD files, I have off. Now, really the most important thing, we can go through all these settings, but first is the interface. Now, I don't like dark interface, and I have changed them. As you can see, it starts out as black, and I couldn't stand it. Some people love it. This is what I use. Artboard background gray level. Again, you can change yours. That's for the artboard. We don't have it open, but I have everything as high. Text contrast. You'll see the text over here. And you see how light it gets? I want to be able to see because I'm half blind half the time. The UI brightness. You'll see it go down. I like it nice and bright. Tooltip delay. I really don't do anything with the tooltips. That's where I have it. Let's see what else we got. These are your decimal places for the unit types. 3 inches, 3 feet, starting at, for pixels. Automatically lock background layer on import, yes. Default pixel view for images, I have yes. Show lines and points, yes. Show text and points, yes. Show brush previews, yes. Always show brush crosshair. Auto commit filters, yes. Enable pointer support. If you want that, that's fine. I have it off. Always use white background for font drop down. And I have yes. Ask for name when creating layers groups, and I have yes. That's your user interface. That's what you're seeing. Color. Now make sure these are exact. This is exactly what you should have for your color profiles and the colors. So the first one, RGB color profile, is always going to be the sRGB IEC 61966-2.1. You'll see there's several to choose from. This is what we recommend. The 32-bit RGB color profile, again, is the same thing, but it's in linear. You want to keep it at linear. CMYK color profile is going to be set at US Web Coded SWOP version 2. Grayscale color profile, Grayscale D50. Lab color, CIE Lab D50. Most important thing is our rendering intent, and I've had the best luck with relative color metric. There are perceptual and saturation and absolute. They will change your colors, and in my next video I'll show you how to proof it and look at the different ones. Right now we're just going to do this, and we'll keep it at relative color metric. This is for your open color IO configuration file. Always keep black point compensation on for now. Unless you have issues, you can turn it off. But this is what we have. And also on other programs, like people use Silhouette or Cricut, they don't have these settings. And this is a big deal here. That's why we say use a proper color profile with the F570. Whereas your other programs do not have this. So that's why I stick with color-aware programs like Photoshop, Affinity, Corel. Your other programs do not have this, so it is a big deal. Black point compensation, always keep it on. We don't need to convert open files to working space and worn. We don't care. Well, I don't care. When assigning working profile to uploaded files, keep it on. Enable HDR by default in 32-bit views. Keep it on. We go down. This open color IO configuration, you don't need to play with it. It's with your video card. Some people will know what to do with it. I don't mess with it. Some people will know, but for sublimation, I don't need it. Well, not for my pictures. Perform OCIO conversion based on file name and one when converting on load. I have on. The Rust EXR, I have off. Performance. Now, this is your memory. And that's how much I allowed my memory to use my RAM. This is for your hard drive. That's your disk's usage warning. You could set it to whatever you want. Undo limit 1024. That's up to you. Now for viewing quality, I have chosen best quality. Dither gradients on. Use precise clipping. I have it off. I don't know why. Works. File recovery interval, I have 300 seconds. You can change it as much as you want. Now renderer, I have this set to my video card. You may not have it set to your video card. You don't have to have it set to your video card. You may not know what your video card is. Next, retina rendering. I have it for automatic and best. Enable OpenCL compute acceleration on my video card. I have it on. If you don't know your video card or what you have or what it does, you can leave it off. It doesn't hurt. Again, we went through user interface to mess around with how you're viewing this. Tools, you can play with that and see what you want, how you want to handle your tool handle size or your shift key or mouse to zoom. I haven't really played with this. This you can take the time to play with and play around with it. I'm just more interested in the colors and how to print. I don't do this. I do the synchronized tools between documents and enable canvas rotation. You can put that on if you want. Again, these are tools that you can mess around with. Your gamma. The nudge distance I have, you can change this to inches. That's the nudging distance. Additional dictionary folder, I don't play with that. Shortcuts, you can choose your own. If you've had Photoshops, you can put your plugins here, they work with it. Autocorrect. I don't want it auto-correcting anything. If you want to turn it on, that's fine. That's up to you. I have it off. But you can look at these and turn it on and see what you like. Abbreviations, those are, I guess, for text. Filler text, I don't do anything. Title exceptions, I really don't play with it. And miscellaneous. Really, that's it. The most important thing is your color and your user interface. If you're blind like me, you need to see it bright. Okay, we've done the settings. Now we're gonna, I already have one up, a picture. So we're gonna go to File. This is how you're gonna start a new file. So we're gonna go, oh, one more thing. I have Canva, so I logged in and I'm able to use the Canva AI. If you don't have, or you're not a member of Canva, the paid version, you won't get this on yours. It'll ask you when you set it up. I have it. I haven't used it yet. I'm sure it's fun. Anyway, File, we're going to go to New. And here's your boards where you're going to pick your page sizes. I don't use the A3, the A4. We're going to start with letter. Okay, I'm just starting with letter. You can have any size you want. There's plenty to pick from of what you're going to do. So I'm just giving an example of letter, and here's your orientation. You could have it this way, you could have it this way. I'm going to have it this way. Okay, and there's your letter. Document, make sure you have it in inches. DPI, always 300. Your page width, this is the letter. And you know what? You can change it too. Change it to anything you want. 20 by 10, 20 by 15, doesn't matter. And I'll show you how to change it elsewhere too. Now, the color formats. Again, we're dealing with colors and ICC profiles. With Affinity, your color format's going to be the RGB/8. You'll see many. Make sure it's the 8. Your color profile, not your Epson profile. This is your color profile. You're going to see several of them. You want to make sure it's the sRGB IEC 61966-2.1. I have that memorized. I always choose that you have your choice of transparent background or a white background. Now, I choose transparent because sometimes I bring in a graphic and it already has a white background, and I have to see that because I want to see what's going on. I'm a very nosy person. Because sometimes it may have a real tiny light gray, and that's why I want to see it on a transparent background, not on white. You can have whatever you want. It's your computer. Artboards, I don't really play with it. You could have it on, you can have it off. Image placement, you're always going to use prefer embedded. Import text files as linked. I have all these off unless, like on a multi-page, let's say you're using the F570 and you have this big project and you need multi-pages. You can put that on and it'll ask you what you want to do. I don't play with multi-pages. I don't use margins. You can add margins. I don't. Again, it's up to you. I don't look for a bleed or a drawing scale. So remember, these are the most important: color format, color profile. Now we're going to create the document. And there we go. And here's my clear background or transparent background. So let's bring in a graphic. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Place. Unless you've already used Affinity and you've created something, then you're going to go to Open, or Open. If you've already used it before, you can open Recent, and it'll tell you which graphic you already brought in. But we're going to start from Place. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go into my whatever. I've got thousands of graphics. Let's see what I can pick. Pick a good one. I have lots of dogs. We get a nice graphic. Chihuahua. I had one ready. I should just pick anything. We'll be here all day. Alright, I'm going to do the Grinch. Wait, where's the one I wanted? Okay, I guess I should just pick anything. There was one that I was working on that I already printed and pressed, and it came out great. Let's pick this one. Okay, and then you're going to get the handles for this arrow. You can make it any size you want, if that's for Halloween. And you'll see when I highlight this, you'll see over here the width and the height. You can always change it and make it 8.00 by 8.00, and it will change. Move it over. And there we go. Move it up. Okay. And let's see. Next, let's say you want to do text. Put something under there. You're going to pick the artistic text tool, and you might want to get familiar with these tools, but if you've had Affinity, then it's the same thing. So we're going to go with the artistic text tool, and I'm going to type spooky. Okay, now you're going to say, oh, it's so little, so small. Oops. And I monkey around with this. Okay. Move it up. Make it a little bigger. Now, I'm going to double click and highlight it, and here's where your fonts are. So this will change. You can pick your fonts to anything you want. It's up here. I'm just showing you what to do, and I've got a lot of fonts. Now let's pick this one. And then here's your points. If you want to make it real small, real big, 48, and let's just make it bigger. Okay, and then I've already got the bold. Okay, so play around with this. Now let's say you want to change the color. Now most of you already know Affinity. Some people don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this, and we're going to go to our dropper color picker. So I'm going to click color picker, and I've got this crosshair, and I'm going to pick, oh, I'm still on alpha. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm going to pick beige. Oop, I did this wrong. Okay. Sorry about that. Click this, and okay, I'm still in this. I want to get out of that. Alright, now we're going to color picker. And we want to do the take it off modification. So you have this like a crosshair, keep it off modification. And I want to turn it to beige, or I want to turn it to this color, or this gray, or that color. So you're highlighting what color you want to make it. Make it green. If I can see, there's the green. Now also you can go to your right and make it a darker green. You can make it any color you want. So there's two ways of doing this, or you can go and move this. Do anything you want. I guess we should keep it at black. I'm going to go back to black. Here's the black. All right. Another thing you can do under here, this panel, Quick FX, which I show everybody. And let's say you want to bevel it. So the opacity is 100%, and here the radius is what adjusts it. And you can see the beveling effect. Okay, now you can do an outline, and you could change your color. You want to make it yellow. I don't know why, but I think it's cool. Okay, and then the opacity, 100%, and this will make it, you see that? Bigger, or not. Usually this is good if you have a red color and you want a black outline. So I'm going to turn this up. There's many things you can choose from. 3D, make it look 3D. As you can see, it's really fun. You can, play with this. Color overlay, all you have to do is click it. If you don't want it, you can just unclick everything. But I think it's cool. We'll leave it. All right. Go back to this arrow. Set it up. And now what we're going to do is print. The most important part. So File, and we're going to go to Print. And let me pick make sure when you go to your printer here that you only have 2 or 3 of the same printers. I'm going to pick my F500, which is on my network. Okay, then I'm going to go to the properties. All right, and as you see, we've got letter, or there's a whole bunch you can use that you want to change. Just choose what you want, or user defined. If you've picked 20 by 14, it would be a user defined, and I'll show you how to do that. What did we pick? Let me see. We haven't picked it yet, have we? Okay. Custom paper, let's say 14 by 20. Of course, your paper has to be that too. And make sure it's on inch and not mm. Hit OK. But that's how you do custom. I don't want to really do it on custom, so I'm going to go back to letter, just as my board is. And that's US. There we go. I was just showing a lot of people don't know how to do it. So you see, it says letter. I'm using the roll of paper. Now I use S-Race. I have a custom setting for that, but what you're going to pick is textile. And I'm getting the arrow because that's not what I have in there. It knows I have the S-Race, but we'll fool it anyway. You're going to pick textile regardless of what, if you're printing on wood or glass or metal. Pick this, otherwise if you pick this one, it's going to be very dark. This is your best bet. All right. Because Affinity is handling the color and the color profiles, you are not going to check simple settings. You're going to put off no color adjustment. Make sure you have that. Next is quality. You can use max quality. I found that regular quality uses less ink and you have the same color. It doesn't matter. Keep it off high speed, and unless you have very tiny fonts with the finest detail, you can do that. It does use a lot of ink. I like to see print preview. I like to see it before, when it comes up, before I hit print, because sometimes there's a mistake and I got to see what the heck I did. So these are these settings. Next, you're going to go to advanced. You want to make sure it's at normal cut auto rotate, and save paper roll. Make sure that is clicked. I don't do anything with the advanced media for the color density because I don't have any problems. I'm using S-Race paper, which dries within seconds. Some of you may use different paper, and maybe one of the people in our group have told you to adjust the settings. If they tell you to adjust the settings, then you do it. Custom settings I don't do, and nothing else, just print preview. And again, the only ones you're going to use is printer, settings, and advanced. Make sure you have saved paper roll. All right, so we're going to hit OK. Now we're done with that, although for fit type, I always have fit to printable, all sheets, orientation, automatic unless you want to change it. And it shows you right here how it's going to look. Here's your 8.5 by 11, and you see it's fitting right in there. Restoration, 300 dpi. Bleed marks, nothing. Another one, color profile. Remember, your document profile we set up was sRGB. If it's something else, you've set it wrong. It's not right. And you'll have to go back to your document setup and change it, and we'll show you how to do that. Your color handling is performed by your app, not your printer. It's performed by Affinity. Printer profile, do not pick this. That's your document. You're going to find your profile, and mine is the 500 S500 textile. Rendering intent, remember we had it at black point. Relative colorimetric, keep it at that. You have your options, and we'll show you in the next video how these look with different settings. Right now, these are your best settings. Now we're going to hit OK. And the little printer man will come up. You better not print. Okay. And you'll see how it looks. Maybe. Today. There we go. And that's how it's going to look. You don't mess with any of this. There's nothing to mess with here. Of course, mine has an arrow because I didn't pick the S-Race, but I'm not printing it anyway. And then you hit print. Really, that's it. I'm going to hit cancel. Again. If you have to make a change, go to document settings, and here's where you can make your changes. Okay. Remember we said about the profile. It must say, if it doesn't say the sRGB, you picked something wrong. That's where you change it. In document profile, or you can change this too if you want. And that's it. I'm not changing anything. All right, so really it should come out real nice. I did one in Mac with Tahoe and Mac with Sequoia, and then I did Windows. All three of them. And I printed and pressed them all. They were all identical in color. Every single one. It was perfect. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can always get a hold of me in the group or message me in Facebook. Just remember, I'm on Eastern time, and some people are messaging me now. Don't realize we're in a different time zone. So some may be in another state or another country. And just remember, we're Eastern in the U.S. And you can always get a hold of me or anyone in our group. They can help with anything you want on the F570 group. So hopefully, if you have any questions or replies, just let me know. Bye.